Easily. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Another Wisdom Wednesday, hosted by Captain Shamwala and me myself, Brother Amuan. Minister Shalom was able to make it, so I'm be the sixth man again. I'm a cover and I'm featured with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding in the name of the anointed King, our Savior and Redeemer, Mashiach Yahushua. So we had a big triple double. We had Nicanor, we had 2 days of Purim. Now we got Wednesday class, we got soldier class, Friday class, and Saturday class.
Hallelujah.
We're going to go to camp. That's what it's all about. Because the Most High won't establish all these things on earth, man. That's why it's best for our people to rehearse the righteous acts while we have the opportunity to. Because when Esau cracked down, we're not going to be able to continue keeping these things like we are now. So we got to take advantage of it. Even the Most High tell you don't let your sins weigh you down in these last days. Because there's going to be a great insurrection on those that fear the Most High according to Scripture. So we went over Judith, Simeonite, who stood up for our people. We went over Esther, the humble Benjamite, who helped deliver our people with the hand of our uncle Mordecai, another Benjamite. So we're going to go over righteous sisters. That's in the Scripture. We're really going to touch on Deborah. Since Judith and Esther was already touched on, we're going to go over Deborah during her time as judge in Israel with Barak. And we're going to touch on some of those events because, throughout Scriptures, they may not be as much as some people would like. We had a lot of righteous sisters too. Like Elizabeth, like Deborah, like Judith, like Esther, like Zilpah. We had righteous women like Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel. We have righteous examples. So when our people is in this world, they look up to who? Superman, Esau, Batman, Esau, Green Lantern, Esau. He was black, then he became Esau. So when our people got to look at the examples, they got to come out of these scriptures. Because that's our greatest example. Our examples, our heroes are in the scriptures. David was our hero. He delivered our people. Ehud, the Benjamite, was our hero. He saved our people from Moab. So our people got to stop cleaving on the things of this world and look at these things that's written in the scriptures, how the Most High has given. Because there's no heritage, no history, no wisdom that can compare to the one that the Most High has given his hidden ones, whom we are, the children of Israel. So it's high time for our people to cut the things off of this world and come back to these scriptures, come back to who they are, their heritage. Because there's no heritage that can keep up with those of the children of Israel. So today we're going to go over Deborah, like I said. We're going to go over righteous sisters. How can sisters in today's time, after slavery, after all these captivities, right in the trenches in Babylon, how can they become a Judah? How can they become an Esther? How can they become a Deborah? A Proverbs 31. A lot of our people think they want to be Proverbs 31, but they still twerking in the club. They still want to get high. Posting provocative things when they shouldn't be posting them. Is that righteous? That's wicked in the eyes of the Heavenly Father. So it's high time for our people to be re-educated. We got to be reprogrammed to the ways of the Heavenly Father. Because the sisters that's written found in the scriptures, they're 10 times more righteous than the ones today. Just like Elijah was 10 times righteous than anybody on this earth right now. He was so righteous, the Most High brought him up to the heavens in the chariot. So we got to strive to follow these examples. Because people trying to follow Cardi B, I'm trying to get on Moses' level and deal with the Most High face to face. So these are the examples we got to look at as a people. We got to teach our children after us to cut off the things of this world and look at your forefather. Look how the creator of heaven and earth dealt with them. Because the Most High said his secrets are given to the children of Israel and unto our children after. That's according to scriptures. So us being so great, us being so esteemed in the eyes of the Heavenly Father, our heritage so esteemed, we should really take back what's ours. So let's open up with Colossians 3 and 17.
The book of Colossians, chapter 3 and verse 17. Right. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all in the name of Hamashiach Yahushua, giving thanks to Yahweh and an Abba by him.
So we always open up with that scripture to what? Praise the Lord Most High. Acknowledge our anointed Savior, Yahushua. Because even scripture tells you cannot go to the Most High without Mashiach Yahushua. He's the mediator of the new covenant that's speaking pleasant things to the Most High for you. So we always going to open up with that scripture, Colossians 3:17. So give me Philippians 2 verse 3. Philippians 2 verse 3. Because usually we go over the men of Israel. We go over the heroes, the kings. Majority of the judges were men. Most I say his voice is called unto the Son of Man. But tonight, in the spirit of Purim, we're going to go over the righteous women. A righteous woman. Those that were able to make it to class, they heard about Judith. Those that were able to make it to Purim, they heard about Esther. If you missed it, you got to watch it on live stream. Because the Most High told us, gather ourselves together. So we're going to go over Deborah. What made these women righteous? Sisters got to be reprogrammed. They got to learn how to be righteous. How to be great for her people. How to be valiant for the household. If we don't teach them, who's going to teach them that? Because we can't trust Esau and these hip-hop artists to teach the daughters of Zion. We see their work in full effect. We see the fruits of their works. Now we got single households. They're using the woman to go against the husband. Our daughters are not chaste. They're not discreet. They're not righteous. Don't seek after righteousness no more. Now you can't tell if it's a woman or a man no more, because sometimes the sisters be more masculine than the brother. Right? Give me Proverbs 8 verse 4.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 8 and verse 4.
Right?
Unto you, O men, I call. O men, I call.
The most I say, unto you, O men, I am called. Read.
And my voice is to the sons of man.
And he said his voice is to the sons of man. So what we have to do? We have to teach our people. We got to convert our people. Even though Mashiach Yahushua made a statement to Peter, once you are converted, strengthen thy brother. Give me Luke 22, verse 32. So we got to be the one to teach our nation. Because we got to teach the young men of tomorrow. We got to teach the young daughters of tomorrow. So they can stop this slave mentality, man. So they can stop the thought pattern of Babylon. This generation right here that's waking up is going to be the one that's responsible to teach the one that's after. That's our job. Because we may not see the kingdom. We may not see the skies crack open. But we are going to be bearing witness of the fruits of our labors. The bricks we're piling up for the next generation. Because we're going to have to be the ones to be an example. We the ones that's going to have to guide them and feed them with wisdom, knowledge, understanding. Give me that, Luke 22, 32.
The book of Luke, chapter 22 and verse 32.
Right?
But I have prayed for thee.
See, Yahushua said he prayed for us. What you think he's doing in the third heavens? Drinking wine? He said he's not going to drink wine until he's drinking wine with his brother. Read that again.
But I have prayed for thee.
He said he had prayed for our nation. Prayed for our people. Especially those that have woken up to this truth. This liberty. This great calling. Read.
That thy faith fail not.
That our faith don't fail not. What's our faith? We're going to leave this country soon. We're going to be gathered as the 12 tribes of Israel again. The Most High going to establish the Mount Zion as the highest government on the earth. Read.
And when thou art converted.
Once you are converted, what's the word converted mean? To change. Read.
Strengthen.
Do what?
Strengthen.
Do what?
Strengthen.
Build up. Strengthen. Read.
Thy brother.
Thy brother. That was a commandment from Yahushua. So we got to be the ones that's responsible. We got to take responsibility. You can't expect the young women that's coming up to be Proverbs 31 and nobody's teaching them. You understand? Especially the elder women. We're going to go over scriptures on that. You cannot expect them to be a Proverbs 31 to their husband and you're not doing it. Because they look at you for that example. You got to convert them. You got to strengthen them up and build them up according to the law, statute, commandments. Give me Philippians 2 verse 3.
The book of Philippians, chapter 2 and verse 3.
Right?
Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory.
So we didn't come out here to bang on our sisters, no. We came out here to build up our sisters. As much as sometimes they could be a headache and we could be their headache, we got to build up our women. Because the Most High gave us 12 flavors, we got to build up those 12 flavors. You understand? Continue reading.
But in lowliness
and loneliness, read,
of mind, let each esteem other better than
the
themselves.
same way we gotta esteem the brother, the same way we gotta esteem the sisters, twice as much, because they're the weaker vessel according to scripture. They need to be lifted up. When they're doing the sewing classes, we gotta lift them up. When they teach a woman, young woman how to cook, we gotta lift them up. We gotta esteem each other better than ourselves. Give me Colossians 1:26. Because we're living in prophecy right now. Many prophets wish they can't see the day when the sons of Israel decide to keep the commandments. When they stop eating that swine, pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, keeping the Sabbath day. They're actually turning up in righteousness. The daughters of Zion is leaving the pants and wearing the dress. They're actually shalom at home now. But many prophets wish they can't see that. Read.
The book of Colossians, chapter 1 and verse 26. Even the mystery.
Reading what?
The mystery.
The mystery. What's that mystery? The identity of our people. Who we were. The way we was moving as a nation. Read.
Which have been hid.
Which have been what?
Hid.
Because it's been hidden in these scriptures. It's been hidden. It's been taken from us, from our enemies. Because they know once we start coming back to our heritage, we're going to reject theirs. And the Most High is going to be with us and crush them. Read.
From ages and from generations.
Wasn't it hidden from generations, ages? Our people was calling themselves Haitians for over 200 years. Judas called himself Afro-American, colored people. What's the colored people? Right? Read.
But now is made manifest.
Which is now made what?
Manifest.
Which is now made manifest to our people. Now we know who we are.
Read. To his saints.
To his who?
To his saints.
The children of Israel. So-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. Those make up the 12 tribes of Israel. That's what most are concerning on. If Esau's woman want to be a cave woman, let her be. Ham woman want to slap him around in public, let her be. That's not our concern. Our concern is the women of our nation.
All right.
Give me Matthew chapter 13, verse 10. Matthew chapter 13, verse 10. Because not everybody was given the ability to comprehend what's going on here. What's going on in these times. What's going on in these scriptures. It wasn't given to everybody. The Most High said, unto you is given the keys of heaven. It wasn't given to. Why do you think I wish I was speaking of parables? All that transgression our people have been doing, all the time we went backsliding, we cursed the name of the Most High. Do you think it was really going to be that easy for us to come back? Read.
The book of Matthew, chapter 13 and verse 10.
Right?
And the disciples came and said unto him, why speakest thou unto them in parables?
Right?
He answered and
What
said
did he
unto
say?
them, because it is given unto you.
Because it's given unto who?
Unto you.
Because it's given unto you, read.
To know the mystery.
To know the what?
The mystery.
And we went over that mystery. Or identity. That's the greatest mystery on this earth. Who are the Jews? Who are the children of the Creator? That's the greatest mystery on this earth. Read.
Unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven.
Unto the kingdom of heaven. And we are that kingdom. The kingdom is going to be established on earth. Give me on Sirach, chapter 44, verse 1. Because we came out here to praise our nation, man. Building up our nation. You say, praise famous men. Praise famous women. Look at their acts. Walk therein. We got to follow after their footsteps. It's 2019. We're still talking about Deborah, Esther, and David. We're still talking about Solomon, Joash, Josiah. Because these men was mighty.
Read the book, Ecclesiasticus of Sirach, chapter 44, verse 1.
Right?
Let us now praise famous men.
We gotta praise famous women. We know the scriptures speak in a masculine tone. But we gotta praise famous women too. Because there was many women in history, Sojourner Truth, Harriet Tubman, who was more boldly than some brothers. Sometimes at camp, it's the sister that's quicker to come than the brothers. They be killers, thugs. And they scared when the scriptures open up. It be the sister that stand up first sometimes. Read.
And our fathers that begat us.
Right?
The Most High have wrought great glory,
Great what?
great glory
Right?
by them through his great power from the beginning,
Right?
such as did bear rule,
Bear what?
bear rule.
Who did Esther bear rule? Esther was a queen, second in charge, right? That slew the wicked Haman and his 10 children. Read.
And their kingdoms,
Right?
men renowned for their power,
Right?
giving counsel by their understanding
Right?
and declaring prophecies. Leaders of the people by their counsels and by their knowledge of learning,
Knowledge of what?
knowledge of learning,
The knowledge and understanding and their application of the Most High's law, statutes, commandments, his ways. Read.
meet for the people, wise and eloquent in their instructions,
Right?
such as found out musical tunes and recited verses and writing. Rich men furnished with ability, living peaceably in their habitation. All these were honored.
All these were what?
All these were honored.
All these were honored when we look at these women, when we look at these brothers that stood up boldly for our nation, for the salvation of our people. Read it one more time.
All these were honored
They were honored, they were respected. Read.
in their generations,
Right?
and were the glory of their
They
time.
were the glory of their times. Do we have people like that nowadays? We have it on a smaller scale. We have men that are standing up and going to war on these blocks. We have sisters that are standing up for righteousness' sake. Who's raising up the young women? Who's instructing their young men in the household? Who's uplifting their brother? Who's uplifting their husbands? So we have righteous men that's doing that. Righteous women that's doing that. Because a lot of times you see go on YouTube, what do you see? You see our women being downplayed. You see, if you look up GMS, it's about 100 nigger women videos.
Right.
All you gotta do is type in Eve, you're gonna see about 40 provocative things they gotta say about our women. Now, if we didn't keep tearing them down, when are they gonna be built up? When are they gonna be uplifted? When are they going to be corrected in righteousness? Because it's not all about cutting somebody. It's about lifting them up too. That's the most important part, lifting them up. Esteeming them. Because they need it. Esau beat them down as much as us. They were in the plantation right with us.
That's right.
It's telling you the right man's the devil right next to you. That's why we got to uplift them. Give me, what is that? Isaiah 34:16. Verse 16.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 34, verse 16. Seek ye out of the book of the
So
Lord.
how are we going to do that? We got to seek out the Most High's law, statutes, commandments. We got to look out of the book. Sometimes the scriptures may be kryptonite to some of our people. They open up the Bible and they melt it like the wicked witch of the West. The Most High says, seek ye out of the book of the Lord. And what?
And read.
And read. Absorb this knowledge, this wisdom. Because it's for your betterment. Read.
No one of these shall fail.
None of these are going to fail you because the scriptures got answers for everything, every aspect of life. Read.
None shall want her mate.
Right?
For my mouth it hath commanded.
Because it's the words of the Most High God who commanded it. It's the knowledge of the Most High that's written in the scriptures. Read.
And his spirit it hath gathered them.
His spirit has gathered them. Give me Isaiah 29 verse 10. So what's going on with our people? What's going on with our people? How come the sisters don't understand sometimes the brothers are wicked in the world? They're not about the Most High's word. They're not about building a nation. Sometimes they love the white man even more than you. And vice versa for our women. When are the brothers going to realize they need a Rebecca, a Leah, a Rachel, a Proverbs 31? You're not going to know that until you come back into scripture, until you come back to your heritage. That's why the Most High said he put a deep spirit of sleep on us. Our people are facing so much tribulation because they got that deep spirit of sleep on them. It's this truth that's going to wake you up in these last days. Give me Isaiah 29 verse 10.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 29 and verse 10.
Right?
For the Most High hath poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep.
He put on that spirit of deep sleep on our people. Read.
and have closed your eyes.
And have what?
Close your eyes.
Close your eyes. Close your wisdom, your understanding.
Read the prophets and your rulers.
Right?
The seers have he covered.
The Most High covered all their eyes. We're like blind men walking in the dark. 3 blind mice. Now, what is the Most High doing? He's waking us up. You guys Isaiah 52 verse 1 and then Revelation 1 and 3.
The book of Isaiah. Oh, wait.
And we the testimony of the Most High giving us his law, commandment. He's telling our people, wake up. Because this is not our rest.
Read. Put on thy strength.
Put on thy strength. What's our strength? These law, statute, commandments. Our heritage. That's what's our strength in these last days, because we have hope. Our enemy's going to be overthrown one day. Read.
O Zion.
Oh, who?
O Zion.
O Zion. Give me Deuteronomy 32 verse 7, and then we'll go over to Deborah. Deuteronomy 32 verse 7.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 7. Remember the days of old.
We got to remember these days of old. What happened in Deborah's time was what? A little bit over 400 years ago? What, not even 400, 2019 years ago? 400 BC? We got to remember these things that happened, these events, because these things don't uplift you up.
Read. Consider the years of many generations.
Consider those years of many generations. All these righteous men that woke up in his word, that was doing the will of the Heavenly Father, who was considered righteous in the sight of the people. Read.
Ask thy father.
Ask thy father. Who's thy father? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The Most High God of Israel. Read.
And he will show thee.
And he's going to do what?
Show thee.
He's going to show you. Who you need to follow. Your example.
Read. Thy elders, and they will tell thee.
And you got to ask your elders, because they're going to give you the instruction that's needed. Now give me Judges chapter 5. Let's go to the story before. Right now, we uplifting the sisters. Right, the left-hand side shall be filled. We're going over the sisters now. A lot of times you hear petitions. When are you going to talk about the sisters? Ain't no sisters here. You understand? Besides, the ones that's here. All praises to the Most High God. Give me Judges chapter 5, verse 1.
The book of Judges, chapter 5, verse 1. Then sang Deborah.
Start from chapter 4, verse 1.
The book of Judges, chapter 4, and verse 1.
All right.
And the children of Israel again did evil in the sight of the Most High.
Right.
When Ehud was dead.
So the time period that we're about to go in is after our people went under slavery under the hands of the Moabites. Who would they be today? The Chinese and Japanese. That's the biblical Moabites. They had us in slavery until the mighty Ehud, a Benjamite, so-called West Indian, came and delivered our people out of the hands of these nations.
Read. And the Most High sold them into the hand of Jabin, king of Canaan.
So we went into slavery under the hands of the Africans, the Canaanites, South Africans, right? Read.
That reigned in Hazor, the captain of whose host was Sisera, which dwelt in Harosheth of the Gentiles. And the children of Israel cried unto the Most High, for he had 900 chariots of iron. In 20 years he mightily oppressed the children of Israel.
So the Most High didn't just say he oppressed them. He said he mightily oppressed them. Once you will finish at 9 to 5, you're going to work at 6 to 9 a.m. He mightily oppressed our people because these nations always been against our people. They have the whole earth right now, but they still have time to oppress our people. They still got enough place for hatred to hate on the children of the Most High God.
Read verse 4. And Deborah.
And who?
And Deborah.
And who?
And Deborah.
And Deborah, right? Read.
A prophetess.
A what?
A prophetess.
Because we have prophetess. Miriam was a prophetess. We have righteous women. Read.
The wife of Lapidoth, she judged Israel at that time.
So sisters, well, how do you think she judged our people? I'm about to go Shanshua 2.0. I want to say first name, last name, tribe, You got the question. So how do you guys think that she judged Israel? How are we supposed to judge people? According to what? According to what's in the Bible? The law, statute, commandments, exactly. So she judged our people according to the law, statute, commandments. When there was a fight going down in the nation, when there was ever an argument, we always have to go to the law, statute, commandments. Let's move that real quick. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 1, because that's a new system. So we're going to go over it. System of gun. 6 and 1. Let's go over that really fast.
The book,
right,
of 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 1.
Right.
There any of you having a matter against another?
There any of us having a matter against another, right? So we're about to find out how Deborah was judging our people during this time. Read.
Go to the law.
Go to the what?
Go to the
go
law.
To what?
Go to the law.
Go to the law, statute, commandments. Because the law tells you if somebody do this, this is how you're going to address this. This is how you're going to make it right. Read.
Before the unjust.
Before the unjust. Read.
And not before the saints.
Right. Read.
Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world?
Because according to the scriptures, because process of time, the saints are the children of Israel. So we're going to be judging this whole world one day. Our people had knowledge of that. So she judged our people according to the law, statute, commandments of the Heavenly Father. Go back to where you was at, Judges.
The book of Judges, chapter 4 and verse 5. And she dwelt under the palm tree of Deborah between Ramah and Bethel and Mount Ephraim. And the children of Israel came up to her for judgment.
Right.
And she sent and called Barak, the son of Abin-Oem, out of Kadesh, Naphtali, and said unto him, Have not the most high power of Israel commanded, saying, Go and draw toward the Mount Tabor, and take with thee 10,000 men of the children of Naphtali and of the children of Zebulun?
So how come our brother didn't say it? When our people was being oppressed, Saul stood up for our people. Now you see a sister, now it's opposite. You see a sister, selling a warrior. Didn't the Most High command you to go with 10,000 men and go take care of these heathens? Did he give you that charge? That's how righteous she is. A lot of times when brothers are going to camp, they get told they got to go home. Don't go to camp, you got to go home. This sister's on a whole other level. Read.
Verse 7. And I will draw unto thee to the river Kishon, Caesarea, the captain of Jabin's army, with his chariots and his multitude. And I will deliver him into thine hand. And Barak said unto her, If thou wilt go with me, then I will go. But if thou wilt not go with me, then I will not go. And she said, I will surely go with thee, notwithstanding the journey that thou takest shall not be for thine honor, but the Most High shall sell Caesarea into the hand of a woman. And Deborah arose and went with Barak to Kadesh. And Barak called Zebulun and Naphtali to Kadesh. And he went up with 10,000 men at his feet. And Deborah went up with him. Now Heber, the Kenite, which was of the children of Hobab, the father-in-law of Moses, had severed himself from the Kenites, and pitched his tent into the plain of Zaanaim, which is by Kadesh. And they showed Caesarea that Barak, the son of Abba-Oem, was gone up to Mount Tabor.
So at this point, our people was getting ready to go, right? After hearing Deborah's instruction and guidance, right? And the so-called Hamites are gathering themselves together, seeing what the enemy is looking like, how many men they're coming with, instructing them, giving the heathen wisdom, right, to prepare against our people. Continue reading.
Verse 13. And Caesarea gathered together all his chariots, even 900 chariots of iron, and all the people that were with him, from Ha-Rasheph of the Gentiles unto the river of Kishon. And Deborah said unto Barak, Up, for this is the day.
What she said?
For this is the day
right,
in which the Most High have delivered Sisera into thine hand. Is not the Most High gone out before thee? So Barak went down from Mount Tabor, and 10,000 men after him.
So why did Deborah have to go? Because we always had a prophet when we went out to war. If it wasn't a priest, we had a prophet. Because if we didn't have a prophet or prophetess or a priest that go with our people, they'll get discomforted. They'll forget it's the Most High who's with them.
Yeah.
Let's go to the Torah about that. Give me Deuteronomy 21. Because you got to realize, when our people feel like the Most High is not with them, they become cowards. Because it's the Most High God who's our strength. So when we feel like the Most High's presence is not with us, we can't win the fight. Deuteronomy 20, verse 1.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 20 and verse 1. When thou goest out to battle against thine enemies, and seest horses and chariots, and a people more than thou.
Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 1.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 20 and verse 1. When thou goest out to battle against thine enemies, and seest horses and chariots, and a people more than thou.
Isn't that what was happening during that time? We had our men, the heathens had their men. The Most High said, when you see these things, read,
be not afraid.
Be not what?
Be not afraid.
That's what the world was reminding them. Through the Spirit of the Most High. Don't be afraid of these people. That's why she commanded Barak like that. Because she had understanding of the Torah. Read.
Be not afraid of them, for the Most High thy power is with thee.
Because the Most High is with us. When he's with us, who can stand up against us? When we was in the wilderness, we just came out of slavery. And every nation on earth had the fear of our people in
the land of Egypt.
Out of the land of Egypt, right? Read.
And it shall be, when ye are come nigh unto the battle, that the priest shall approach and speak unto the people.
That's what the world was doing. We'll have the priest. We'll have a prophet, like Samuel. I'll do supplication. I'll encourage our people, advise our people what the Most High want them to do, and how you want them to defeat the enemy. So go back to where you was at in Judges.
The book of Judges, chapter 4, and verse 15. And the Most High discomfited Sisera and all his chariots and all his hosts with the edge of the sword before Barak, so that Sisera lighted down off his chariot and fled away on his feet.
So since the Most High was with us, what he did? That one time, what he did?
And the Most High discomfited Sisera and all his chariots and all his hosts with the edge of the sword.
Because the Most High was with us, they fled. They were just having a meeting before our people came up on them. Yeah. Like they were going to win the fight. And they were already running.
Read. Before Barak. So that Sisera lighted down off his chariot and fled away on his feet. Right. But Barak pursued after the chariots and after the hosts unto Horah-sheth of the Gentiles. And all the hosts of Sisera fell upon the edge of the sword. And there was not a man left. Howbeit, Sisera fled away on his feet to the tent of Jael, the wife of Heber.
So this African, he felt like he got away. Mm-hmm. So he went into the tent of Jael, the wife of Heber, the Kenite. A lot of times you hear an Erzonite or Kenite, you hear these names, but they're not of the nation. There'll be different habitations or different cities. Sometimes you'll get a name after the city you was at. Right?
Read. Howbeit, Sisera fled away on his feet to the tent of Jael, the wife of Heber the Kenite. For there was peace between Jabin, the king of Hazor, and the house of Heber the Kenite. And Jael went out to meet Sisera and said unto him, Turn in, my lord, turn in to me.
So what she said, come in. Come in. You can get some rest. I already know what happened. So a lot of sisters, in the world, they'll cool out. But we're going to find out what this sister did. It's the spirit of righteousness for the people. Read.
Fear not. And when he had turned in unto her into the tent, right, she covered him with a mantle.
She even get covered in some sheets.
Yeah.
Queen size sheets. Let him come in, give him some sheets, because you know he's tired of running. His men died in war. So he's scared for his life right now. Because the Israelites are coming. Read.
And he said unto her, Give me, I pray thee, a little water to drink.
Give me a little water. I'm thirsty. Barak almost killed me. Read.
For I am thirsty. And she opened a bottle of milk and gave him drink and covered him. Again he said unto her, Stand in the door of the tent,
right.
And it shall be, when any man doeth come and inquire of thee, and say, Is there any man here? That thou shalt say, No.
Thou should say what?
No.
Now he wanted her to cool down. Betray the people. Because if he did win that fight, she wanted to be put to death by the hands of this African, this Canaanite. So he wanted her to betray the people. But he's doing it subtle. Just like with these nations, they wouldn't tell you directly they want you to go against your people. Yeah. They wouldn't tell you join the military, you join the police to beat down on your brothers. They'll sugarcoat it with benefits. Oh, yeah. You're going to be a CEO. You're going to get the prizes. And you're doing harm to your own people. A lot of people would just take that opportunity. A lot of people would be like, no, they'll say no when the Israelites come to go put them to death. Read.
Verse 21. Jim, Jael, Heber's wife, took a nail. Took a nail.
Read.
Of the tent and took and hammer. And hammer in her hand.
Right.
And went softly unto him.
While he was sleeping. Read.
And smote the nail.
And what?
Smote the nail.
Right.
Into his temples.
Right. So what happened to him? He died. She put a nail about this long through his head. Who did she do it for? For her people. She stood up for our people. You don't see a lot of that today. Yeah. Not a lot of people can stand up for their nation. They'll cool out, they move to Beverly Hills, California, and forget about the hood. Forget about their brothers that were struggling with them.
Read. And fastened it into the ground. For he was fast asleep and weary, so he died. Right. And behold, as Barak pursued Sisera, Jael came out to meet him and said unto him, Come, and I will show thee the man whom Come, and I will show thee the man whom thou seekest. And when he came into her tent, behold, Sisera lay dead, and the nail was in his temples. So the Most High subdued on that day Jabin, the king of Canaan, before the children of Israel. And the hand of the children of Israel prospered and prevailed against Jabin, the king of Canaan, until they had destroyed Jabin, king of Canaan. Chapter 5. Then sang Deborah and Barak, the son of Abinoam, on that day, saying, Praise ye the Most High for the avenging of Israel.
For the who?
For the avenging of Israel.
Because the Most High is only concerned with our people. This sister stood up against a warrior, man. She was just an average sister in the tent, chilling, probably sewing, probably singing a little song with the songs of Zion. And she slew that African for our nation. She stood up for our people. That's a hero right there. Cardi B's not a hero. Right. That's who you got to look up to. Deborah the prophet, that's who you got to try to be. Like, you got to try to reach on that level. Let's go to Esther. Let's go on something Esther said that caught my attention in the book of Esther. We're going to recap on something. Esther and Judith. Some commentary they made. Let me get this. Because if we don't stand up for our people, who will? That's right. The sisters are as important in this fight for salvation. We're not going to leave you on a bench and you're not going to put in no work too. Y'all got to put in some work for your own self-salvation. Read that. Chapter 8. Verse 1, yeah. Okay.
The book of Esther, chapter 8 and verse 1. On that day did the king Ahasuerus give the house of Haman, the Jews, enemy unto Esther, the queen.
So who was Haman? Later on you go find out that was an Edomite. And who are the Edomites? Who's Esau? The who? Hey, Jair slew that African battle gold. So when you guys, when you were trying to find out who your enemy is, when you get asked that question, who's Esau? Who's Ham? You gotta say it loud. Because that's your enemy. That's the white man according to scriptures. That try to destroy our people. Man, woman, and child.
Read. And Mordecai came before the king, for Esther had told what he was unto her.
Right.
And the king took off his ring, which he had taken from Haman, and gave it unto Mordecai. And Esther set Mordecai over the house of Haman. And Esther spake yet again before the king, and fell down at his feet, and besought him with tears to put away the mischief of Haman.
Because there was still people that was trying to kill our people after that order was set out. After they put out a bounty to kill our people, there was still wicked people that was trying to harm our people. So what did Esther do? She mourned for her people. She's pleading for her people. She's giving a petition for her people. She was the queen. She got said, man, these niggas in the hood, I'm in the White House. Yeah. I'm good. He ain't gonna kill me. I'm bad. He ain't gonna kill me. She kind of did that. But what? She understand that those are her brothers. Read.
And Ezra spake yet again before the king, and fell down at his feet, and besought him with tears to put away the mischief of Haman the Agagite, and his device that he had devised against the Jews. Then the king held out the golden scepter toward Esther. So Esther arose and stood before the king, and said, if it please the king, and if I have found favor in his sight, and the thing seem right before the king, and I be pleasing in his eyes, let it be written to reverse the letters devised by Haman, the son of Hamad, the Agagite, which he wrote to destroy the Jews, which are in all the king's provinces. For how can I
what? Read.
Okay. For how can I endure to see the evil that shall come unto my people?
So she said, how can I endure the evil that's to come on my people? She had the gold necklaces, the best clothes, the best linen, the best food. She had servants. She had maids. She was with the king. Read that one more time for me.
For how can I endure to see the evil that shall come unto my people?
Right.
Or how can I endure to see the destruction of my kindred?
She said, how can she stand to see our people being destroyed? How these wicked people are going to come against her nation? She made it out the hood. She kind of just forgot about them, say she's not even an Israelite. She got to say she's an Hamite, so-called African. Yeah. She said, how can she stand there and be all right and our people suffer? A lot of our people, when they reach these high positions, they forget about their brothers. They forget about their sisters. Just because you made it down with your brother not suffering, your sister not suffering. Yeah. As much as the so-called white man hate a broke Israelite, he hate the rich ones too, because they're right next to him, right next door. Read.
Verse 7. Then the king, Ahasuerus, said unto Esther the queen, and to Mordecai the Jew, behold, I have given Esther the house of Haman, and him they have hanged upon the gallows, because he laid his hand upon the Jews.
So because that wicked Haman tried to rise up against the Most High's people, in the righteousness of Esther and Mordecai, the Mordecai flipped everything on his head. Yeah. Everything he wanted to do to our people, it was flipped on him. Yeah. He wanted to hang Mordecai, Mordecai got him hanged. Not only that, we got a bonus. He hanged his 10 sons too. That's the power we serve. But most importantly, she stood up for her people. She understood she can't sit by while all of this is going on in the nation. Yeah. Our women lost that drive, but they slowly getting it back. Give me Judith chapter 8, verse 24. Let's look at what Judith said. We were sharing over there yesterday. I'm going to call him Judith, man. Some people believe the scriptures are sexist. There was righteous women in the scriptures. There was righteous women in the scriptures. You got to seek out the book of the Most High and read. The last part is more important. Read. Then you're going to see. You have examples. You have your heroes. You have people you can look up to and follow in righteousness. 8:24.
The book of Judith and Apocrypha, chapter 8 and verse 24.
Right?
Now therefore, O brother, let us show an example to our brethren.
She said, let us show an example to our brother. Read.
Because their hearts depend upon us.
Because as much as it's the fight for the brothers, it's the fight for the sisters too. Because our people out there still walking with their pants below their behind, who's still in the darkness, who don't know why they're being persecuted. They're depending on us, whether they admit it or not. They depend on us to fight for them. They depend on you sisters to fight for them. Because other women, they may not want to listen to me. Oh, you a guy, you don't know what you're talking about. They may listen to you. The Most High may put that spirit on you, and then they'll listen to you.
We and the sanctuary and the house and the altar rest upon us.
Right?
Moreover, let us give thanks to the Most High our power, which tried us even as he did our fathers.
Because the Most High is trying our people, man. Yeah. For all the wickedness we did, we got to seek the Most High 10 times harder. Our righteousness got to exceed our forefathers. We got to show the Most High our sincerity. Give me Judith 10 and 19. Because it's just not a pretty face. The Most High made his daughters very beautiful. But you're going to need wisdom, knowledge, understanding. You're going to have to be reprogrammed. If you want to reach the level of Deborah, Judith, Esther, Jael, you're going to learn tonight how to reach that level. You're going to learn the first steps, where to start at. Read that for me, Judith 10, 19.
The book of Judith, chapter 10 and verse 19.
Right?
And they wondered at her beauty.
Don't the whole world wonder at the so-called black woman, Hispanic woman, Native American? Don't they wonder at your beauty? They go as far as get lip injections to try to mimic you. Butt injections. They try to get dark. We saw a more butt trying to act like she a black sister, right?
Oh, yeah.
That video. Yeah. Everybody's seen that.
Yeah.
And then the same ones that put on people on chokeholds in the beauty supply store. They envy you. They wonder at your beauty. Read.
And admire the children of Israel.
Right? They admire our people as a whole. Read.
Because of her. And everyone said to his neighbor.
Right? What did everybody on this earth say? And they still say, read.
Who would despise this people?
Who can hate this people right here? The children of God. Read.
That have among them such women.
Such what?
Such women.
Such what?
Such women.
Such beautiful women. Such elegant women. Wise women. Because you have the law, statute, commandments. That's why I said when you see Ham and Esau women beating them down in public, don't feel bad. That's them. That's a little piece of the kingdom. We got to come back to our righteousness. Just like the brothers are trying to follow our forefathers. We want to go out and teach. We want to hold class. We want to fight for our people. We want to see our slave masters in chains. You have to fight for your people. You got to fight for righteousness. Your daughter's going to be looking up to you. Give me Psalms 94:16. Because this verse right here is the same spirit you're going to see throughout the women in the scriptures. That was in righteousness. Because the Most High said, who's going to stand up for me? They stood up for the Most High God. You didn't hear Barak stood up and went to Deborah. Deborah went to Barak. Barak went to Deborah because he knew her righteousness was on that level. Psalms 94:16.
The book of Psalms, chapter 94 and verse 16.
Right?
Who will rise up for me?
The Most High said, who's going to rise up for me? That's a question. Who's going to rise up for the Most High? He didn't just say, which man is going to stand up for me? He said, who is going to stand up for me? Me?
Who will rise up for me?
Right?
Against the evildoers.
Against the who?
Evildoers.
Against the evildoers, the wickedness. Who's going to speak up for him? Who's going to fight for his ways? The Most High didn't say men only, he didn't say sisters only. Both of us, we got to fight against wickedness on this earth. Read, there's more to that, right?
Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity?
Who's going to stand up against the workers of iniquity? They say we do the same thing in John 3:16. So God so loved everybody. And we throw it in the trash compactor, y'all got to throw it in the blender and then throw that blender in the garbage when they hit you with that. Because the Most High is requiring that from you. That's part of your soul salvation. Give me Job chapter 29, verse 9. One of the steps is you got to start putting on righteousness. If you want to reach on the level of Judith, you want to be able to have pride when you say you're a Proverbs 31 and know you're wicked. You got to start putting on righteousness. You get there. Yeah. If you want.
The book of Job, chapter 29 and verse 9. The princes refrained talking,
Right.
and laid their hand on their mouth.
Right.
The nobles held their peace, and their tongue cleaved to the roof of their mouth.
Right.
When the ear heard me,
When they hear what?
when the ear heard
Didn't
me,
when the ears heard Deborah, Judith, and Esther, they were silent? People were seeking after their wisdom. Read.
then it blessed me.
Then it blessed them, right? Read.
And when the eyes saw me, it gave witness unto me. Because I delivered the poor that cried, and the fatherless, and him that had none to help him.
Right? Because our people in this world, they have none to help them. They need a mother figure. They need a father figure, a big brother figure, a big sister figure. We are examples. The Most High is talking to us right now. Read.
The blessing of him that was ready to perish came upon me, and I caused the widow's heart to sing for joy.
Right.
I put on righteousness.
He put on what?
Righteousness.
So what did Judith, Esther, and all these righteous women had in common? They put on righteousness. Now, what is righteousness according to the scriptures? If you don't got it, facts a friend. There's a lot of brothers and sisters on that live stream. You better ask somebody on that live chat. What is righteousness according to the scriptures? You want to get on that level of these women in the scriptures, right? Right on, Sister Nazama. You want to get on that level, right? You got to understand what righteousness is. In this world, they think homosexuality is righteousness, right? They think being a murderer, finessing your own brothers, and he in the same way as you. That's righteousness. That's good. We got to understand what righteousness is. Give me Deuteronomy 6:25. You want to get it? Get that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6 and verse 25. And it shall be our righteousness.
It should be our what?
Our righteousness.
So if you don't have righteousness in your nose, you should have it right now. Because our women, the daughters of Zion, they got to put on righteousness. Just like their foremothers put on righteousness. We're going to touch on Rachel, I believe on Rachel too. No, Sarah as well. They put on righteousness. That's what makes them so beautiful. Because this flesh is going to go away. What's going to speak for you? Your righteousness. That's what's going to make you shine. Read.
If we observe to do all these commandments.
All these what?
All these commandments.
All the law, statute, commandments. That's what clothes us for beauty. That's what makes us shine. That's why the branches were jealous of Adam when he was in the garden. He had righteousness. Go back to where he was at in Job. Where I put on righteousness in verse 14.
The book of Job, chapter 29 and verse 14. I put on righteousness,
right,
and it clothed me. My judgment was as a robe and a diadem.
All right.
I was eyes to the blind.
You was an eye to the blind when you put on these laws, because why? You know how to judge righteously. You're standing up for those that don't know the law. Those that are weak in spirit. Read.
And feet was I to the lame.
All right.
I was a father to the poor.
Jump down to verse 17.
Verse 17. And I break the jaws of the wicked.
And didn't Jael break the jaws of the wicked? Didn't through the spirit of the Most High, Esther was able to put the wicked having to death, broke the jaws of the wicked? You sisters are as important as us in this fight. Your righteousness has to be on par with the Most High requirements. That's the only way we're going to defeat that adversary as a people. Read that one more time.
Verse 17. And I break the jaws of the wicked.
Right.
And pluck.
And you took, read.
The spoil.
The what?
The spoil.
Because our people is the people that's been robbed and spoiled. We are the spoiled in their teeth. Now, when you're coming back to your heritage, you come back to who you are. Your role as an Israelite woman, you're able to take other women out of the teeth of Babylon. You're able to take them out and clothe them with righteousness. Because when we're not in these laws, statutes, commandments, we are filthy in the eyes of the Heavenly Father. Give me Jeremiah 6 and 16. That's why we got to walk after our forefathers, their ways. We got to seek what they were doing that was right in the eyes of the Heavenly Father. It's a problem. I can't even keep stressing it. Jeremiah 6 and 16.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 6 and verse 16.
Right.
Thus saith the Most High, stand ye in the ways, and see, and ask for the old paths.
So didn't we go over the old paths right now? Sister, tell me when you got Jeremiah 6 and 16. Say cut when you have it. Say come when you got Jeremiah 6 and 16. Come, that means you have, that means yes. Jeremiah chapter 6 and 16. Come. Nazami, you got Jeremiah 6 and 16? Hey, this class is about y'all tonight. Y'all got the spotlight. Usually we talk about us put on an enemy of slavery, to blow up America. Donald Trump going to be in my plantation. Tonight is about the sisters. Right, read Jeremiah 6 and 16. One more time.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 6 and verse 16.
Right?
Thus saith the Most High, stand ye in the ways, and see, and ask for the old paths.
We got to seek and ask for the old path, the old way. What was the role of the Israelite woman when losing righteousness? How did she move? What was her responsibility? What was her thought pattern? Right? What made her righteous in the eyes of the Heavenly Father? Tonight, you gotta start thinking like that. But I'm gonna give you the stepping stones, the bricks, the foundation tonight. Give me Isaiah 5 and 20. Because we gotta acknowledge the things we've been learning in this captivity. This slavery has been nonsense up until today. Up until you woke up, all the things that we've been learning, all the vain traditions, all the thought patterns, it's been nonsense up to today. Because why? You don't understand your role as an Israelite woman. How to become righteous. There's 3 big things an Israelite woman need. I think the third one might be the hardest. But I see our sisters working with it. Isaiah 5 and 20.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 5 and verse 20.
Right?
Woe unto them that call evil good,
right?
And good evil.
Because in America, what they teach our daughters, they don't gotta be like these righteous women. You want to go strip, go strip and get them hundreds. You want to go from this guy, Daquan, up to Day Day to little JJ and Papano, you can go do that.
Right. Yeah.
You don't need a man. Don't they teach us that in this country? Don't they teach our people that? Get you an education until you're 50 years old and then try to have a baby. They teach you that. So the Most High said, woe, destruction unto those that call evil good. Right? Because they call these things good in this country. This thought pattern. These acts as righteousness. Right? Give me Isaiah 3:16. Because of that, what happened to our people? What's the state of our people now in the world? I'm sorry? We're suffering. The Most High talks about some of the suffering, some of the tribulation that the daughters is going through. That's out there now. We gotta acknowledge these things. Because then you're gonna be like, dang, I was living like that. I was like that. Now look at me now. Now I'm wearing my dress. I'm covering my hair. I'm coming to Shabbat. I don't want day. I want me a Sham Shawar. You understand?
God.
Give me Isaiah 3:16.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 3 and verse 16. Moreover, the Most High saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty.
Now who's the daughters of Zion that the Most High is talking about? Who's the daughters of Zion? The Israelite woman. He said because they were haughty, right? They're haughty. What does that mean? They were arrogant. Read. They're arrogant, very arrogant in the world. Read.
And walk with stretched forth necks.
Don't you see someone when you used to go to college, they walk, and you can't tell them nothing? If you say, hey, good morning, leave me alone, I got a man, and you just trying to say good morning and be on your way. Right? Read.
And wanton eyes.
Right?
Walking and mincing as they go.
They mean mugging, and you don't even, they probably just got, the direct deposit. They supposed to be smiling, but they mean mugging while they walking. You're going to realize the characteristic of these people, it fits our people hand in hand.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All you got to do is pay attention when they're outside. See how our people move. You're going to find out we are the Israelites. We're the people of the book. Because so-called Caucasians, they don't move like that. They'll say, hey, good morning. And they'll be on their way. You understand? Right? Read.
And making a tinkling with their feet.
Right?
Therefore, the Most High will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion.
That's why a lot of our sisters, when they're in the world, they can't really grow hair. They got to wear weave, perm their hair. Now, when they come back to who they are, they understand that their hair was what the Most High gave them. They got to take care of it. They understand that skin tone is your skin tone. Don't bleach it. You don't need tattoos. Next thing you know, their hair is growing, their skin is popping, their teeth is white as milk because the Most High is lifting up these punishments. What's your precept?
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11 and verse 15.
Wait, hold up. Say come when you got it, sis. 1 Corinthians 11:15. We only gonna be able to go over the foundations of how to get you on that level.
1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 15. When you get it, say come.
Oh, cut it. Well, someone said get Isaiah. Who said that?
Got it? You heard one come. You second come. You got it?
It's the Nazami, the how was you, man? You gotta get it. You got this.
1 Corinthians 11 and verse 15. The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 15.
Right.
But if a woman have long
Have
hair,
what?
but if a woman have long hair,
It's right that the Most High took away their hair because of why? Their disobedience, their wickedness. That's why a lot of these women can't grow hair. Believe it or not, a lot of things happen because we broke God's commandments. Men become effeminate because they broke God's commandments.
Right.
Women don't look as popular as they were like Judith because they broke God's commandments. Now, as we come back, you're going to realize there's a change. Read that scripture.
1 Corinthians 11 and verse 15.
Right?
But if a woman have long hair, it is a glory to her. For her hair is given for her for a covering.
Because your hair is your glory. It's your beauty. So when you see women shaving their hair down like trying to have a brush cut, that's a shameful thing. The Most High made you with long hair. He made you with beautiful kinky hair, wavy hair, long hair for some of our Native Americans, Hispanic sisters. He gave it to you for a reason, because that's your beauty. When you start coming back to you who you are, you're going to understand how important it is to take care of it.
Yeah.
Then you're going to see it's going to grow.
Right.
Then you're going to see why people asking you to let you touch it, and you're going to tell them you're going to captivity. Right? Go back to where you were at in Isaiah 3.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 3 and verse 17.
Let's wait until they get it first. Tonight's class is about them, so we got to make sure they follow along, taking notes. So if I'm teaching Saturday, I'm going to go in, I'm going to go work some champion. I'm going to wait until you answer that question. All right.
Y'all got it? All right. The book of Isaiah, chapter 3 and verse 17. Therefore, the Most High will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Most High will discover their secret parts. And that day, the Most High will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet, and their calls, and their round tires like the moon, the chains, and the bracelets, and the mufflers.
He's talking about their beauty, the jewelries, the earrings, the rings, the things that beautify them. He's going to take all those things away.
Read. The bonnets, and the ornaments of the legs, and the headbands, and the tablets, and the earrings, the rings, and those jewels, the changeable suits of apparel, and the mantles, and the wimples, and the crisping pins, the glasses, and the fine linen, and the hoods, and the veils.
It seems like the Most High just taking away everything, right? He's taking away everything. That's why when sometimes you look, you're like, yo, did she come from a cave? That's the Most High that's doing that. Until she come back and keep the commandments, that's when the continue happening. Read.
Verse 24. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink.
I'm not going to go over that. What was it Most High talking about right there? But he said that sweet smell don't become stink, right? So like possum, for those that's Levi, right? Read.
And instead of a girdle, a rent.
Right.
And instead of well-set hair,
instead of beautiful hair, like we read in 1 Corinthians, read.
Baldness.
Baldness. You can't even grow hair. You don't got no edges. Read.
And instead of a stomacher,
right,
a girding of sackcloth.
Sometimes these sisters with like two stomachs over one stomach. That's the curse of the Most High God. We gotta understand this Bible is real.
Right.
When you see these things, it's not a coincidence.
Yeah.
Right, read.
And burning instead of beauty. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war. And her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground.
That's why a lot of them don't have husbands, because they don't know how to deal righteously with their husbands. They're going to lose their husbands in the war. What war are we in? The spiritual war. So the doctrine, the ideologies of Babylon. Right? Sodomy. That's the number one killer for a so-called black man. Sodomy. Homosexuality. They make ATM on the weekends, attracts the men on the weekends. The Most High said all of these things would happen to our daughters. We got to realize why we see these things in the hoods. Give me Ezekiel 16 verse 43. And we're going to start building. Just like with prayer, one of the first things you got to do before you pray to the Most High is what? Those that were there in the class. What you got to do before you pray to the Most High? Anybody can answer. Any brother? Captains, hundreds, 50s.
What you do before you pray?
Before you can pray to the Most High, what you have to do? Start with an R. What you got to do? Repent. You got to repent. You got to change. All right?
Oh, good scripture.
All right. You got to bethink yourselves. Read that scripture for me. Ezekiel 43.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 16,
43.
and verse 43.
Say come when you got it, sisters.
Ezekiel, chapter
I'm saying
16,
no energy.
verse 43.
Well, I don't really know how to pronounce it.
Kun.
Khan?
K-A-N. Kun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You want to try it real quick before we go? Kun.
All right. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 16, and verse 43.
Right.
Because thou hast not remembered the days of thy youth.
Our people don't remember the days of their youth. When men used to be men. They used to be the fathers to those that didn't have fathers. They stood up for the Most High in righteousness. When they seen a young brother with his pants below his behind or garment behind his behind, he got a little branch and beat him until he put his pants below above his waist. Our people forgot the beauty of their youth. Our sisters do too. Now, when you see the daughters working at a gas station, mom come out, hey, and then she starts working too. Our people forgot the way they used to roll in the spirit. Read.
But hast fretted me in all these things.
Right.
Behold, therefore I also will recompense thy way upon thine
And
head,
we read some of those recompense, that payback the Most High said he will do. In Isaiah 3. Read.
saith the Most High Power. And thou shalt not commit this lewdness above all thine abominations.
Right, read.
Behold, every one that useth proverbs shall use this proverb against thee, saying,
What are they going to say?
as is the mother,
As is the mother, read.
so is her daughter.
Don't they say that? She just like her mother. Stubborn. She can't even cook. Don't they say that?
What are you saying? Apple don't fall from the tree?
Yeah, apple don't fall from the tree.
Con.
Yeah, her mom burned the rice, she burned the rice.
Yeah.
We got to acknowledge our offenses. The things the Most High was telling us, all the bad states the Most High was giving us, we got to acknowledge these things. Like, dang, I used to be like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what do you got to do to build yourself up? Like, you got Isaiah 44 verse 4. Isaiah 4 verse 4. Yeah.
Now I was just gonna make a statement. So
Yeah, hold up. Yeah, go right ahead.
So I was just saying, like, when you look at scriptures, and like, for example, it says like, so is the daughter is as the mother, right? A lot of times, what happens is we fall in this cycle, even a man, we don't know how to be men because our father's not there, and the woman don't know how to be a woman because their mother isn't teaching them. So that's why we have to come back to the scriptures because it teaches us how to do that all over again. That's why it's so important to come back.
Right? You heard what the brother said, right? In the spirit of the Most High God.
Mm-hmm.
The Most High gives us answers to everything we need in our lives. Everything we need, we can ask the Most High is right here in the scriptures. You don't need a Twitter, direct the message to the Most High. It's right here in this book right here. Give me Isaiah 4 verse 4. Because the Most High said he will promise he would wash away the daughters of Zion. The way they was in the world, they're going to be washed clean when they realize who they are. Because you're going to move like royalty now. Royalty don't wear tight dresses up into their upper thigh. Royalty do not be screaming, being rebellious.
Right.
Can't take water, can't be submissive. Well, that's not royalty if you're moving like that. You moving as that same wicked person you was in the world. Read.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 4, and verse 4.
Right?
When the Most High shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion.
Isn't the Most High washing the filthy away of my daughters of our people? You two are the testimony of that scripture coming to pass. Those sisters I was here doing Purim, they're a testimony. Because when their daughters mature and they start becoming elders, they're going to keep it going. He said he'll wash the daughters of Zion. Read.
And shall have purged the blood of Jerusalem.
The blood of what?
To purge the blood of Jerusalem.
Our transgressions, your transgression. Read.
From the midst thereof.
From the midst of his face. Read.
By the spirit of judgment.
Right.
And by the spirit of burning.
By the spirit of the law, statute, commandments. Give me Psalms 119 and 9. Now we're going to build up the sisters. Tonight's whole class was dedicated to the sisters. There can't be no petition, no complaining, no nothing. Right now we should have like over 1,000 watches right now. Straight sisters talking about that's right.
Right.
Psalms 119 and 9. When you get there. Sisters say come when you got it. We're going to go at your pace. So like it, Psalms 19 and 9. Sorry about that. 19 and 9. Salakia. This is Nazami, you got it? Or do we?
The book of Psalm, chapter 19 and verse 9.
Right?
The fear of the Most High is clean.
Because when we fear the judgments of the Most High, we read some of the judgments. I know no sister in here want to be bald. They don't want that extra stomach to back up that stomach that they got above that stomach. Right? We read the curses of the Most High. That's supposed to strike fear in you to want to serve him the correct way. Read.
Enduring forever.
Right?
The judgments of the Most High are true.
Or what?
Are true.
Are true because he did that for the betterment of our people. Read.
And righteous altogether.
Unrighteousness altogether. That sister bald-headed because the Most High loved her and he wanted to repent. Hopefully she humbled down to repent. That brother too, he repent. Right? You saw 119 and 9 now. But then we're gonna go on some things, some deep things right now. Like I said, the daughters designed 3 main things to be able to get back on Judah level and answer things. And that's the laws, statutes, commandments, the faith of Yahushua, and last but not least, they gotta be submissive to the husband. They're chief ruler, commander, and king. They're husbands. Yeah. We're gonna go over scriptures on that. We're gonna go over scriptures on that. You're gonna be edified tonight. Give me Psalm 119 and 9.
The book of Psalm, chapter 119 and verse 9. Psalm 119 and verse 9.
Right?
Wherefore shall a young man cleanse his way?
So when we get through all of this, right, we gotta acknowledge our offenses. That's always gonna be number one throughout everything with the Most High. Acknowledge you're wrong and he's right. Because the Most High is always right. So he says, where should a young man or a woman cleanse their ways? Wash your ways. Read.
By taking heed.
By doing what?
Taking heed.
By paying attention. Read.
Thereto.
Right?
According to thy word.
To the Most High's law, statute, commandments. Everything we're going to find out in the scriptures falls back to the laws, statute, commandments, and the faith of Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Everything falls back onto that. So we have to come back and keep the Most High's laws. Right? Give me 1 Corinthians 11, verse 1. Because we're going to go through some characteristics of a righteous woman. Some instruction for a woman who's striving to be righteous with honesty and sincerity. You can't say you're a righteous woman, you can't do these things right here. And they're just basic things.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11 and verse 1.
Let me get there too. Because the Most High want us to go to camp and stand up for like 11 hours in one position to wake up the sheep in the cold, in the rain, in the sun. Y'all got, y'all got some work too. Yeah, go right ahead.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11 and verse 1. Be ye followers of me, even as I also am of a Mashiach.
So Paul said, be ye followers of me, right? Follow what I'm doing as long as I'm staying to the law, statutes, commandments, and faith of Yahushua. Follow my footsteps. Just like you sisters should follow Judith, Esther, Jael, Elizabeth, Miriam. Follow their footsteps because they're righteous to them. Right? Read.
Now I praise you,
Right?
brethren,
Right?
that ye remember me in all things,
Right?
and keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you.
Right?
But I will have you know that the head of every man is a Mashiach.
So for those sisters that's new to this word, we don't understand what the order. Coming back to the daughters of Zion, you have to understand order. The Most High God deals with order. What happened to Miriam when she tried to assert herself over her brother Moses? And the Most High was dealing with him face to face. The Most High is dealing with order. You want to call yourself a Proverbs 31? You have to know order. That thought pattern is not going to be accepted in the wilderness. That's why there's going to be plenty of storms left and right. in the wilderness. You have a question, Mark?
Precept.
Yeah, what's the precept?
1 Corinthians 15:4.
15 and 4?
14.
You about to got it.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 40.
Right.
Let all things be done decently and in order.
Because throughout the whole scripture, the Most High is dealing with order. Even the way he created the earth. It's Israel, the Israelite man, the Israelite woman, the children, and then the other nations and Esau on the bottom. The Most High deal with order. So when you move out of that order, now you're going against the Most High God now. Because he established that.
Yep.
Right? Read that for me. 1 Corinthians 11.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 2. Now I praise you, brethren, that you remember me in all things,
Right?
and keep the ordinances as I delivered them unto
Right.
you. But I will have you know that the head of every man is a
So
Mashiach.
what does it mean when you're the head of something? Now we're going to get like, we're gonna dialogue a couple of times. The boss, right? He said the boss of every what? Read.
But I will have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach.
The head of every man that calls themselves an Israelite, who's striving to be 144, 1/3, to make it and be about their people, they have to acknowledge the head of him is who?
Hamashiach.
Is a Mashiach Yahushua, Christ, who is a black man according to the Bible. They have to respect and acknowledge that. Right? Read.
And the head of the woman,
The head of who?
of the woman,
Who's the woman in here? Who's woman in here? Raise your hand. Who's woman? I don't see two brothers on that side. Right? Who's the woman? Right? You two, right? Read.
is the man.
Is the what?
Is the man.
Is the what?
Is the man.
Because in the Babylon, they teach us what? This is the queendom.
Oh,
That if you don't run your man, you ain't popular.
Right.
But that's contrary to the Most High God.
yeah.
Because he said the head of man is who? Who's the boss of man? Read that one time.
But I will have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach.
Is the head of who?
Hamashiach.
So the head of man is Christ.
Huh.
That's his boss. He got to follow his instructions, which is the law, statute, command. Right? Read.
And the head of the woman,
The head of who?
the woman,
Right?
is the man.
So her respective husband, her father, her elders, those are her heads. The men that the Most High established to be over her, those are her heads. Especially she got a husband. That's her head. What he say in righteousness, that's what goes. There's no ABC 1, 2, 3. Sapase na pule, hola como estás. Ain't none of that with the Most High. What he says, that's what goes. Because that's righteousness. We're trying to go back to righteousness to the Most High God, we got to do it all the way. 100%. Continue reading.
And the head of Christ.
Not the head of who?
And the head of Christ.
So even Christ himself, Yahushua,
Huh.
he's not accepted from this rule. He has a boss. Read.
Is the most high.
Is who?
The most high.
Is the Most High God.
Huh.
So why is the Most High saying this about the order? Now let me ask you this: why was woman created? To be help unto who? Whatever he brings, you add on the sugar and spice. He got the rice and chicken, you add in the cold drink with the ice. That's how it's supposed to be. Give me Genesis 2:18.
Right.
Because when we was in a society, we doing things topsy-turvy. We doing things backwards, backward hustling. So when we come back to these law, statute, commandments, we gotta do things the right way. You can't just say, "Oh, nigga, make your own food."
Correct.
That's against the Most High. The same way we can't talk dirty to our head. That's how the Most High comparing that relationship. Because him and Christ are never in disarray. They're in order. The same way women and men, they gotta be in order. Same way children gotta respect their parents. That's the God we serve. Genesis 2:18.
The book of Genesis, chapter 2, and verse 18. And the Most High Power said, it is not good that the man should be alone.
Right?
I will make him and help
A
me.
what?
And help me.
A what?
And help me.
So who that help be the Most High made? Women, right? Woman, Eve. Right? To be a help me, to be help him. Everything. When he's weak, you build him up. When he's been discouraged, you be his strength. When he don't want to go to camp, you tell us and we go get him from the house and drag him to camp. That's what you're supposed to be unto your man. You're supposed to be his right hand. Right next to, I wish I had the Most High above. You're supposed to strengthen him. Little things like that, you have to learn that. Right now, we don't go to war. Right? This is a spiritual fight. The Most High have to fight for you too. He has the requirements, just like he had us and gave us our requirements. Yeah, come on.
Sirach 25:1.
I was gonna go there. I got that. I was gonna go there. Give me First Peter chapter 3, verse 1, I believe. Yeah, chapter 3, verse 1. Because order is with the Most High. Some people may feel like it's sexist. Go on Jacob's Ladder and go take it out with the Most High. Because the Most High said they gotta be order. They gotta be subjection. They gotta be respect. You gotta move a certain way. Say come when you got First Peter chapter 3, verse 1. Take your time. You don't gotta flip too fast. Take your time. We here. Come.
The book of First Peter, chapter 3 and verse 1.
Right.
Likewise,
Right.
ye wives.
Don't you guys strive to be wise? You strive to be wise, right? Do you know how to be a wife? Remember, we gotta realize things that we learn in this world from our parents is contrary to what the Most High requires. So I'm gonna ask you again, are you ready to be wives? So what you gotta learn how to be a wife, how to be a righteous sister, how to be a righteous woman. All these things fall in place for your righteousness. Right? Read.
Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection.
Unto what?
Subjection.
Right?
To your own husbands.
Right?
That if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the
But
wives.
you gotta be chaste in your speech. You can't be talking about what you and your man be doing in the sheets. You're not supposed to be going around tailbearing. You're supposed to be chaste in your speech. Carry yourself as royalty. Don't go around telling me this is the business, that's the business, this is the business. You're supposed to be one with the conversation of wives. So other sisters who are not a husband, who don't know righteousness, they could be won by your conversation. What do you read?
They behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear,
Right?
whose adorning, let it not be that outward adorning of plaiting the hair and of wearing of gold.
Don't make it seem like you're more righteous than thou, like you're on that level because of how you dress. Read.
Or of putting on of apparel, but let it be the hidden man of the heart, and that which is not corruptible,
Right.
even the ornament of a meek.
A what?
A meek.
A what?
A meek.
Now, what does the word meek mean? I know a lot of us got iPhones in here. Use it. What does the word meek mean? You can pass the ball to your sister right here. Stay with pride. It means humble. Right? Read.
And quiet spirit,
Right?
which is in the sight of the Most High.
Which is in the sight of the Most High. You can't be like an AR-47. You can't be like that. That's not righteous in the eyes of the Most High God. When Deborah and Judah spoke, they spoke of righteous things. That's why the people behold them when they spoke. The first thing that comes out of your mouth shouldn't be foolishness things of this world. It should be the lifting of the people, the Most High God, the lifting of brothers and sisters. I know you shaking your head. There's a lot of work we got to do as people. That's why we can't be fighting each other out in the streets. He gave us so much work we have to do. So many things we got to relearn again. Read.
Verse 5. For after this manner, in the old time, the righteous women also.
The what?
The righteous women
The
also.
holy woman also. Read.
Who trusted.
Who what?
Who trusted.
Who what?
Who trusted.
We're going to find out who trusts the Most High. Read.
In the Most High.
Right?
Adorn themselves.
Adorn themselves. Read.
Being subjection.
What?
Subjection.
So why are we going over this so many times? Because the Most High stressed you. He wouldn't put so many verses about one thing if it wasn't supposed to be taken seriously. Because when you're out of order, the children are out of order. And when your children are out of order, everybody out of order. Daddy trying to be mommy, mommy trying to be daddy, kids trying to be cat and dog. Everything out of whack. Read.
For after this manner, in the old time, the holy women also, who trusted in the Most High, adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands. Even as Sarah.
Even who?
Even as Sarah.
Sarah was the wife of Abraham, who the righteous seed Isaac came from. Then from Isaac, Jacob. That's our foremother. She was righteous. One of the most righteous women in the scriptures. Now, let's take an example of what she said out of her mouth. Read.
Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord.
Calling him what?
Calling him Lord.
Did she say nigger?
Calling him
Did
Lord.
she say man?
Calling him
Did
Lord.
she say get up?
Calling him
She
Lord.
called him out of one. Because she knew that's who the Most High put over as the chief ruler, her king. There's so much things that ties into the woman's righteousness. I think a lot of women, they go over this. They think it's them going to slavery again. This is righteous. If you have a righteous man, you have nothing to worry about. You have nothing to worry about because he knows what's required of him. What's wrong with submitting to a righteous man? Our women will submit to Day in the hood in the world. He's sending crack to our people, destroying our people.
Right.
Can't you submit to a Shemshon,
Right.
a Gabar, an Aliyah? Right? Read.
Whose daughters ye are,
Whose daughters you are, because you are the daughters of Zion. Read.
as long as ye do well,
As long as you do what?
do well,
Right?
and are not afraid with any
When you
amazement.
amaze me, you can't be afraid of to do these things. Because why? It's your righteousness. That's what beautifies you. Give me Ephesians 5:23. No word in the scriptures are wasted, especially if you see the Most High stressing something.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 5 and verse 22.
Stop verse 23. We're already on verse 22.
23?
Yeah.
Okay. Verse 23. For the husband is the head of the wife,
Right?
even as Amashiach is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body.
Right?
Therefore, as the church is subject unto Amashiach,
Ain't every man, woman, and children say they're submissive to Christ? We're the ones that have the enlightenment of the scriptures. If we claim that we're subject to the Most High through Yahushua, what you have to do, read?
so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything.
Because when you're going to understand why we're going over this in Proverbs 31. Because when people see how you dealing with your husband, they're like, dang, she needs to teach the class. My wife needs to learn how to cook. She needs to, she needs to be quiet. This is where I need to be an example. The daughters of tomorrow, they're going to look at your example. Look how you deal with your husband. And that's going to help them deal with their husbands. So they won't be separated from their husbands. Their children get to see two, mother and father in one household. That's beautiful in the eyes of the Heavenly Father. We're going to get that precept, Captain Godash. Read.
Verse 25. Husbands, love your wives,
Right?
even as Amashiach also loved the church.
The same way that you guys supposed to be submissive to us, we got to love y'all too. We got to build y'all up. Because the Most High is calling us for this word. We got to teach y'all, again, all the basic things again. All the oracles of the Most High God. Because if we don't, who will? Right? Give me Sirach 25:1. A lot of times when we talk about sisters, we got to talk about how she deal with her husband. Because that ties to her salvation. Believe it or not. That ties into our salvation. The Most High look at your relationship with your man. He look at these things. Because that ties into your salvation. People believe that they want to slavery again. You better wake up. Sirach 25:1.
The book of Sirach, chapter 25 and verse 1.
Right.
In three things I was beautified.
So there's three things the Most High loves that's beautiful in his eyes. Let me know when you have it, Sister Morgan. If you don't have it, sit next to Sister Nazami. Because she have the Apocrypha. Sit next to her because she got the book.
The book of Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 25 and verse 1.
Right?
In three things I was beautified.
There's three things that's beautiful in the eyes of our Apollo. Read.
And stood up beautiful
Right.
both before the Most High and men.
Right?
The unity of
The
brethren.
unity of brothers, when the brothers come together. Shalom, the Most High loves that. He loves when we gather ourselves together. Brothers and sisters.
Huh.
Right? Read.
The love of neighbors.
The love of neighbors. the love of our nation. Where there's no beef between Judah and Ephraim anymore. Levi and Benjamin. He loved when we were on accord. Read.
A man and a wife.
A man and what?
A man and a wife.
Right?
That agree.
That are what?
That agree.
That they agree they're going to serve the Most High God. He got to love her and she got to be in subjection to her chief king and ruler, her husband. Right? Give me Titus 2:1. So we got to go into some characteristics of a righteous woman. Now we got the order part down pat, right? We got the order part down pat, right? Let's go on to the characteristics of how you should move. Because if you're going to reach that level, you got to understand how you should move. There's street smarts and then there's Israelite smarts. You need the Israelite smarts to get salvation.
The book of Titus.
Say come when you got it, all right? That's what it's all about, man. Usually we go over with the brothers. Tonight it's all about the sisters. Some sisters may still believe they want to slavery because they got submit to their husband. Some may believe it, but you're going to find out by the hands of the Most High God. Contrary. You're part of your salvation, so you must submit and respect your man.
Right.
And he's your chief ruler. There's no 50-50. That's part of your beautification in Isaiah being Father. That's how he's going to cleanse your ways. Because we have to know order as a people. In ancient times, we moved with order. We got to learn this order again. That's how we're going to start putting on this righteousness. You got it? Read Titus 2:1.
The book of Titus, chapter 2, and verse 1. But speak thou the things which become sound doctrine,
Right?
that the aged men be sober.
That us as aged men, right? A lot of us are elders. A lot of us are what young men coming up in age. We got to be sober. Why? Because we got to do this work. We got to do the work. We got to stay sober spiritually off all these doctrines that come on YouTube, Facebook, all the weed, all the drugs. We got to stay sober off that because it's unlawful and we got to take care of our people. We got to take care of the sheep. We got to stay diligent 24/7.
Read. Grave, temperate, sound in faith, in charity, and patience.
Right?
Verse 3. The aged women likewise. The aged women likewise.
Now, the aged woman likewise, all right? We're going to go into some characteristics of how an Israelite woman, a princess, a daughter of Zion, a future Proverbs 31 should be moving. Read.
That they be in behavior as becometh righteousness.
Has righteousness, holiness. You got to be separate. You can't be moving like little Laquisha in the block. Read.
Not false accusers.
Not false accusers. You in everybody's business. Everybody your business. You think everybody hating on you because you got a new dress, a new head wrap. That's not the spirit of the Most High. Read.
Not giving too much wine.
Not giving too much what?
Much wine.
You're not supposed to be getting around getting drunk because why shame is going to come from that? Because remember, you represent your man. You represent the Heavenly Father. You represent ultimately our King, Yahushua. So if you're getting drunk, you don't know what you're doing, you're cursing the name of the Most High, you're doing all this madness, you're going off. That's not a daughter of the Most High. That's the daughter of Satan. Because that's contrary to the way the Most High wants you to move. Read.
Teachers of good things.
Teachers of what?
Teachers of good things.
So what are those good things that the Most High is talking about? Teachers of good things. What are those good things? I wish there were more sisters here so you can pass the ball. Y'all understand? Facts are friendly. The law, statute, commandments of the Heavenly Father. 9 out of 10 of the time, when you ask a question, the law, statute, commandments, fall back on that. 9 out of 10 of the chance, you will get the answer right. So she's supposed to teach the law, statute, commandments. To who? We're going to find out to who soon. Read.
That they may teach the young women.
Who?
That they may teach the young women.
So those sisters that's 30 years old, 40 years old, 50 years old, they got to teach you. 20 years old, 25, 15, 10, 5. They got to teach you how to love the Most High, how to love your husband, how to love your Yahushua, how to be about the nation. Read.
To be sober. To love their
To
husband.
love their what?
Their husbands.
To love their husbands according to the law. Read.
To love their
To
children.
love their children. That's what the Most High is requiring. 1 Timothy 5 and 14. 1 Timothy chapter 5 verse 14, then we go back to Titus. You see, what the Most High is telling you how you want you to move is contrary to the world. Some of us used to get beaten in chest, like beating they're like cavemen, like Donkey Kong. They're like wild animals when they're in the world. But once they leave that, repent, they're a whole new person. Because why? It's the Most High's word that changes somebody.
The book of 1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 14.
Right?
Got it? Okay. I would therefore that the younger women,
At the who?
the younger
Who's
women,
the younger woman? Who's the younger woman? Y'all 80. Y'all the younger woman, right? Read.
marry,
Read what?
marry,
So there's no running around having little boyfriend girlfriends. That's not the righteous and eyes of the Father. That's not how a righteous woman should move. Who was talking about righteous women earlier? These are the things they were doing. They weren't running around with little Laquan, talking about they're going to travel the world in 80 days in wickedness. Read that one more time.
the book of 1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 14.
Right?
I would therefore that the younger women marry,
Right?
bear children,
Have children. Because why? They're gonna produce the future children of for the nation. You're gonna get more children calling in the name of the Most High God. Right? Some people don't want to have children until they're 50 years old. I don't know how that's gonna happen unless the Most High with you.
yeah,
Right? Read.
guide the house,
Do what?
guide the
You're
house,
going to direct the house. Scripture said one must be keepers of home. They're supposed to guide the house. Make sure everything's okay. Right next to their man. Read.
give none occasion to the adversary.
Nobody's able to say anything about you. Man, I seen your wife at the club. She was twerking. Man, I didn't even know she had a breakdown. Nobody should be able to say something about that about your woman. You understand? That's things of this world. Read.
To speak reproachfully,
Right?
for some are already turned aside after Satan.
Because some of them are still aside to Satan.
Yeah.
There's requirements. I don't know how many people could say they want to try to follow this thing 100% of the way. The Most have requirements for the daughters of Israel. There's so much work, right? There's more to that? Go to Titus 2 and 5. Let's go back to Titus.
The book of Titus,
Wait till they go back to it. I think she's still going to it. You got it? Read.
the book of Titus, chapter 2 and verse 5.
Right?
To be discreet,
Right?
chaste,
To be what?
chaste,
To be discreet. That means you low key. Nobody has nothing to say about you. Because why? You're where you have to be when you have to be there. You're at Shabbat, unless you're unclean.
Yeah.
You're serving the Most High. You dancing. Before, when the minister is done throwing up the prayers, you're not out that door like you were about to turn on fire. You singing the praises for the Most High God. You at the feast days. You think about righteousness. You building up your sisters. Instead of linking up to go twerk in the club, you hitting up your sisters. Yo, sis, what you want to do today? You want to hang out? Because at the end of the day, we all we got. Nobody in the world can relate to our struggles because we know why we suffer. Read.
to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home.
Keep us at what?
Keepers
Where
at home.
they're supposed to teach the good things at home. Making sure the children's in order. When your husband's at camp teaching, when he's out there doing the work on one side, you make sure you have that belt and Torah in one hand. And make sure the children's in order. Read.
Good, obedient,
What?
obedient,
What? The
obedient,
third one was going to be the hardest one. Obedience, subjection. There's no 50-50 in the eyes of the Heavenly Father. You want to be a Proverbs 31, you want to be a righteous woman, you have to understand there's no 50-50. That's a requirement. Read.
obedient,
Right?
to their own husband,
To their own husbands. Read.
that the word of the Most High be not
That
blasphemed.
you don't give a filthy, dirty lie to the name of the Most High. When you do contrary to the things, it's like you blaspheme the word of the Most High God. Give me Sirach chapter 26, verse 1. That's an apocrypha. Say come when you got it. Yes, Sirach chapter 26, verse 1. Page 86 in the apocrypha. Okay?
The book of Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, chapter 26 and verse 1. Blessed.
What?
Blessed.
What?
Blessed
Blessed. Read.
is the man that hath a virtuous wife.
So when you're doing the thing that's in order, your righteousness is on point. Your man is blessed because why? He has you. Because you're his prized possession. You're his jewel. Because why? You're not giving no occasion to speak from the adversary. You're on point when you have to be on point. You're in order. Read.
For the number of his days shall be double.
Why his number is the day should be double? Why do you think that? He's gonna have longer life when you're on point. That's the question. You've been asking a lot of questions, though. I want to sit to your right to answer the question. Why do you think that the Most High said his days gonna be double when she's in order? That exactly. He's gonna have shalom at home. He's gonna have peace at home. He's not gonna be stressing. Read.
A virtuous woman rejoiceth her husband,
Right?
and he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace.
He's gonna fulfill the years of his life in peace. He's not gonna be stressing. When everything is done and over, he's not gonna be like, dang, let's do an after party. I want to go home. Give me a strong drink before you let me go home. You feel me? That's why it's important. Give me Sirach chapter 26, verse 14. We got to understand the characteristics of a righteous woman. You cannot proclaim yourself to be righteous and you're not doing these things. You're lying to yourself and you blaspheme the word of the Most High God. 26 and 14.
The book of Sirach, chapter 26 and verse 14.
Right?
A silent,
what?
a silent,
what?
a silent,
Right?
and loving,
And what?
and
And
loving.
loving. What is love according to the scriptures? The law, statute, commandments. A silent woman and a woman that's dealing with her husband in law, statute, commandments, who's dealing with her people within the law. Read.
A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Most High.
It's the gift from the Most High. Read.
And there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed.
And her mind got to be well instructed. There's no price on that when a woman's mind is well instructed in the word. When she's about her nation. When she's saying the white man going to slavery before her husband. That's beautiful.
Hallelujah.
You want to check your husband. Your dad want to check if you got to say something like that. The white man going to captivity. That's beautiful. That's goosebumps, right? Read.
Oh man. Verse 15. A shamefaced.
Oh, what?
A shamefaced.
A woman who's respecting herself, who's wearing a loose dress because she knows that's her man's property, that she got to respect herself as a princess. Read.
And faithful woman.
And a faithful woman who has faith in the kingdom, faith in the Mashiach Yahushua's return, faith in her husband that he's going to guide her with righteousness. Sometimes cover your hair. Show how extra righteous you could be. Read.
Is a double grace.
Right? It's a double grace. Like you won the lottery. Read.
And her continent.
In her continent, read.
Mine cannot be valued.
It cannot be valued. Can you find all these things in Babylon today? Can you find this thing in good old under Satan's authority, USA? You can't find a woman like that. So what you have to do, you have to become that woman. You have to teach your daughters to become that woman. Because once I say flee out of the midst of Babylon, he gave us clear instruction. Because we still slavery today. We can't leave here physically and go to our land. Because our king is supposed to bring us to the land. We got to feed them mentally and spiritually. Give me Jeremiah 51, verse 6 to 7. Yeah, 51 and 6.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and verse 6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon.
Right? Once I say flee out of the midst of Babylon, leave the doctrine, leave the ideology. We're going to read it again when you guys get there. Leave all these things that we've been learning in this country. Because when we leave here and go into the wilderness, it's going to be a completely different order going down. There's no white man to run to. You're going to be dealing with the righteous man of the Most High God, Yahushua, the angels, and the Most High God himself. So you better get in order now before you learn the hard way in the wilderness. No 911. It's by Hashem Yahushua. That's it. Jeremiah 51 and 6. Read that again because sisters are there now.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon,
Right?
and deliver every man his soul.
What is the soul according to the scriptures? Your life. Flee out of the ways of this country and save your life. Because you keep following these ways, you're going to perish right along with it. Read.
Be not cut off
Be not cut off. Read.
in her iniquity.
Right?
For this is the time of the Most High's vengeance.
Right? This is the time of his vengeance. That's why all this tribulation is happening on the four corners of this earth. It's time we get it right now. Sisters, you got to get it right now. That's your righteousness. Be in subjection to your man, Yahushua and the Most High. That's your righteousness. Teaching your children, that's your righteousness. Standing up for your people, that's your righteousness. You want to get on that level? Follow those instructions. Read.
He will render unto her a recompense.
Right? Read.
Babylon have been a golden cup in the Most High's hand,
It's like a cup of honey that's in the hands of the Most High. Read.
that have made all the earth drunken.
It made everybody in the earth drunk. How? Because everybody's following the things in this country. Everything is topsy-turvy. There's more to that, read.
The nations have drunken of her wine.
Because everybody drunken of the wine of America. The Arabs used to see a woman being ordered. Now they're the ones beating them down in the grocery store. We got to be the ones to set the standards for righteousness in this country. We got to be the example. Now give me Proverbs 31. We're gonna wrap it up, Proverbs 31, quickly. Very quickly. Proverbs 31. So we went over so many characteristics of a righteous woman, how she's supposed to get there. There's only one way. The law, statutes, commandments. The faith in Yahweh shall be subject to your man, your king, your ruler, your chief executive, CEO, no 50-50.
Proverbs
31 and 10. We're going to start from there. And we're going to move around a little bit.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 31 and verse 10.
Wait till the end.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 31 and verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman?
So the Most High asked you a question. Who will find a righteous woman? Read.
For her price,
For her what?
her price
Her price. Read.
is far above rubies.
Her far is above rubies. If you were to go to Pompano, would you find rubies on the floor? So it's going to be very hard to find. You see glass. You know, other things on the floor.
Yeah, amongst other things.
Right? So the Most High saying it's going to be hard to find something like a prized possession like this. Read.
The heart of her husband
The heart of her husband, read.
doeth safely trust in her.
He trusted her because she's been doing all those things we've been reading about. He has nothing to worry about. He don't got to leave the brothers. Hey, I don't know if she got those to call him out. She don't got to worry about none of that because she's following the instructions of the Most High. Read.
So that he shall have no need of spoil.
He's not going to have no need of spoil, no ruin. Read.
She will do him good
She's going to do him good
and not evil.
and not evil. She's going to do what I'm going to wisdom, knowledge, understanding, affection, and love. What's that? 1 Corinthians 7:3. In Hebrews, what is it? 1 Corinthians 7:3. All of that too. We're not going to go there. All of that too. In this season. Read.
She will do him good and not evil.
She's not going to do him no evil. Jump on to verse 23. We're going to skim around.
Verse 23.
Right?
Her husband is known in the gate.
Because when she's in order, when she's righteous, when she's like Judith, like Esther, everybody knows who her man is. That's her man right there. Those are her children. That's those are her children with the fringes. That's her house that be smelling like pine when you walk through that door. Frankincense and myrrh. She got everything in check. Jump down to verse 23.
Verse 23. Her husband is known in the gate
Right?
when he sitteth among the elders.
She's so on point now that her husband's sitting around amongst the elders now. And they need advice. Like, yo, what you been doing?
Yeah.
Right? Jump down to verse 26. And we're going to finish it. I'll do verse 29.
Verse 26. She openeth her mouth with wisdom.
So when she opened her mouth, like we was going over before, she's not telling other people business.
Yeah.
She's not talking about corrupt things. Wisdom she's speaking about. Read.
And in her tongue is the law
It's the laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High God. Read.
of kindness.
Of kindness. She's sorry, she's not a better sister. But she still showing walk past you like she Danny Phantom. She said, Shalom, brother. Shema Altha. Right? Yahweh will protect you. Read.
She looketh well to the ways of her household,
She's looking at how to improve her household, how to make everything run smooth. Read.
and eateth not the bread of idleness.
She's not lazy. She's not doing nothing around, she's not doing nothing at all day and then want to go to the club.
Right.
You understand? That's off. That's off.
Yeah.
The Most I say she don't eat the bread of idleness. Read.
Her children arise up
Right?
and call her blessed.
Why they call her blessed? Because she's doing all those things. Her children's clothes is washed. Everything's in order. She working with her husband, has a body. Right? Our women is not slaves, they're princesses. The man gotta help with the woman out too at times. But she gotta be on top of her P's and Q's too. Because that's your fight, that's your trail, that's your walk. Read.
Her husband also, and he praiseth her.
Right? Read.
Many daughters have done virtuously,
Many daughters have done virtuously. Read.
but thou excellest them all.
So when you do all these things that our foremothers is doing, Sarah, Rebecca, Leah, Elizabeth, Judith, Esther, Jaleel, Deborah, the righteous woman who has 7 children in the Apocrypha. When you do all these things, you become better than them. You excel their righteousness. You excel their beauty. So we have a lot of work to do, right? We have a lot of work to do. So our sisters got to start being more uplifted. Because the Most High got requirements. He's going to judge us on our works and things we got to do. And he will definitely going to judge you on these things. How you deal with your husband. How you deal with the nation. How you walk. How you talk. How you dress yourself. How you deal with your children. The Most High will judge you on these things. That's why you got to be on top of your P's and Q's. That's why the Most High went over order first. That's why he's stressing it. There is no 50-50. That's under Satan's authority, USA. Leave that in America. So that's, there's any questions from the two sisters? We went over a lot of subjection, I know. But it's the Most High. You know, like, what is burning? What's the question? No question? So, we went over, yeah. Yeah, that's going to be on YouTube. So, I hope everybody was edified in the scriptures. Deborah, the story that went down during her time. Everybody was edified in the scriptures we went to and how women should be righteous. Pass it along. Pass it on to your daughters, her friends. Our daughters got to wake up. They got to keep the law, statutes, commandments. They got to do these instructions. That's what's required of them. Because if you don't do it, their blood is in your hands. Especially us as men. Men want certain things. Isaiah 4:1, you got to put in the work for that. Right? So I pray you was edified in the scriptures through the our King and Mashiach Yahushua. Yeah.
So we have somebody in the chat. We have a couple of questions. I'm pretty sure you can answer them. So she says, this is from Mecca Kalaman. What order here in Egypt when our order here is leading to death? How is it that when not every woman has a man in her life?
In the Torah. Right? Give me Numbers chapter 27, verse 15. Let's show evidence that the Most High is not dealing with equality. Because that thought pattern is taught by the white man. As our people start washing away the thoughts of the so-called Caucasian, so-called Africans, East Indians, Chinese, Japanese, then we're going to start seeing clearly that there's no equality. Just like as we're not equal to the so-called Edomites, there's no equality. Just like 144 ain't going to be equal to 1/3. Man is not going to be equal to woman. Man is not going to be equal to Yahushua. It's clearly ordered in the scriptures. So we're going to go touch over some of the scriptures we went over again, and we're going to read it a little slower this time. Give me Numbers chapter 27, verse 15. Let's get that in the Torah. Yeah, start from verse 15.
The book of Numbers, chapter 27 and verse
So the
15.
main question is that the equality, right?
Yeah.
That's the main question.
And Moses spake unto the Most High, saying,
So Moses was a righteous man of the Most High God, right? He didn't have Moesha go to the Most High. It was Moses. Read.
Most High, the
For
power,
what?
the
For
power,
what?
the
The
power
power that's alive in the heavens. Read.
of the spirits
Right?
of all flesh,
Right?
said a
For
man,
what?
a
For
man,
what?
a
For
man,
what?
a
It's
man,
better for me.
M-A-N,
They didn't say W-O and then the rest. Spell it one more time for me.
M-A-N,
A man, read,
over the congregation,
over the people, read,
which may go
which
out
may go out, read,
before them,
before them, read,
and which may go in,
and which do what?
go in
And which come in, read,
before them,
before them. Let's see why, read.
and which may lead them out.
Because we gotta lead our people because sometimes sisters are unclean. Should everything stop when she's unclean? Continue reading.
And which may bring them in, that the congregation of the Most High
Because what's gonna happen if that's not that order is not set? Read.
be not as sheep, which have no shepherd.
Because our sheep, our people don't be like sheep without a shepherd. In disarray all over the place. Give me Proverbs 8 verse 4 and we're gonna go to Ezekiel. We gotta understand the Most High is not dealing with equality. If we think that the Most High is dealing with equality, you might as well say John 3:16. The white man could be saved. He will be sitting next to Yahushua, even though he's the one that killed Yahushua.
Right.
There is no equality in the scriptures. We went over so many scriptures on that. But we got to edify our people through the spirit and humbleness and meekness and
Oh man,
or what?
oh man,
Or what?
oh man,
Or what?
oh man,
Spell it out for me. All right?
M-E-N,
Now, did he say woman or men?
men,
Right? Read.
I call,
I what?
I call,
I call. Read.
and my voice is to the sons of man.
Because we understand there's some exclusions like Deborah. But Deborah still had to be in subjection to her men. There's no exceptions to that rule. The Most High said his voice is called to the sons of man. Because in these last days, who is the Most High using to wake up the people again? We gotta be honest with ourselves. Give me Ezekiel 34:31, I believe.
Of Ezekiel chapter 34 and verse 30.
Start from verse 30. 34 and 30.
The book of Ezekiel chapter 34 and verse 30. Thus shall they know that I, the Most High, their power, am with them, and that they, even the house of Israel, are my people.
Are we the possession of the Most High God? He said to Ezekiel.
Power 31. And ye, my flock, the flock of my pasture,
He said, ye my flock, the flock of my pasture, read,
are men,
are what?
are men,
Spell it out for me, huh?
M-E-N,
And read,
and I am your power,
right?
saith the Most High.
So we understand that the Most High is not dealing with no equality. There's order. Just like there's order in the heavens. The things on this earth is mirroring the things in heaven. So give me 1 Corinthians 11 verse 1 again. From the New Testament this time.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 3.
So we just went from the prophets, the Torah, prophets. 1 Corinthians 11 verse 1.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 1. Be ye followers of me, even as I am also of Christ.
Because Paul was a follower of Mashiach, Yahushua. It's evident he was righteous, and Most High was dealing with him. Right?
Now I praise you that ye in all things,
Right?
and keep the ordinances as I deliver them unto you.
Right?
But I will have you know that the head of every man,
The head of what?
every man,
The head of every man. We want to get the chain of command, the order. Read.
is Hamashiach.
Is Yahushua. That's the head of every man, woman, and child on the earth. Read. That's Israel. Read.
And the head of the woman is the man.
Is what?
Is the
Is
man.
what?
Is the
Did they
man.
say the dog?
Is the
Did they say
man.
the cat?
Is the
Did they
man.
say the neighbor's rabbit?
Is the man.
It says the man. There's order. Read.
And the head of Hamashiach is Yahweh.
Just like the Most High and Yahushua is not equals. Clearly he said, be perfect like your Father in heaven is perfect. Why God call me good? There's only one good. Because he knew there was no order. There's an order. Now give me Romans 13:1. Because some people may believe that we must follow the things that's in America, and there's 50-50. But we're going to get an understanding of the scripture when it says, be ye subject unto the higher powers, right?
God.
Because in this higher power, it's okay to be homosexual, right? It's okay to be 50-50s. It's okay. I don't need a man. I do what I want, right? Romans 13:1.
The book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher power.
Let every soul be subject unto the higher power, read.
For there is no power but of the Most High.
Right?
The powers that be are ordained of the Most High.
So we may read that and say, oh, Esau's in power right now, and he say that there's 50-50. A man could be, Anna if he wants to, etc. Read.
Whosoever therefore resisteth the power,
And whoever goes away against the ways of Babylon, right? Read.
resisteth the ordinance of the Most
We
High.
could be going off against the Most High because in America it is a queendom. There is a feminist. Let's understand why. Most High says, verse 4.
Verse 4. For he is the minister.
He is a what?
The minister.
So we know Esau's not our minister.
Huh.
We know the elders that's labeled in his word, his truth, that's going out to teach our people. The men are standing up in these last days. Because the Most High calls us to wake up the flock.
Huh.
Our women has they fight. We went over that.
Be afraid. He bear not the sword in vain, for he is the minister of the Most High, and revenger to execute wrath that do.
That is what? The law says to the law. So we clearly went over the Torah, the Proverbs, the prophets, without Father to do with the Heavenly Father. So what was the other question?
Well, that was it. It was put together. I just meshed it together.
No, probably let's stick with it.
Yeah.
Because I pray, that was a sister, right? I pray that she was edified in the word, knowledge, understanding. That's what we studied for. Give me that in Timothy's. Give me that 6 Timothy 2:15, right?
Yeah.
Give me that. That's what we studied for. That's why we have the social class from 8 to 10. You could be able to prove things from the Torah, the Psalms, the Proverbs, the prophets, and the New Testament. Because when somebody come to you with some contrary to what's written in
Study. Approve.
we gotta study to show ourselves the
Not to be ashamed,
right?
rightly dividing the word
Right.
of truth,
And it's truth. What's the truth? The law, statutes, commandments, read.
but shun profane and vain babblings.
But we're gonna shun profane and Babylon. But like I said, I pray you was edifying the word, knowledge, understanding.
Miami boy.
Hmm?
Miami boy.
Miami boy.
Shout out to our brother Miami boy.
Marquise Woodson.
Shout out to our brother Marquise Woodson. We need some Hebrew names. We're about to get temporary Hebrew names.
Right.
Israel and Yashar. That's gonna be temporary Hebrew names.
We got Brother Zabat from HOI.
Brother Elders, the bot.
Hallelujah.
We holding it down in Florida, like you holding it down in New York.
We got Karash.
That's the third time, man. Shout out to our brother, our captain, Karash.
We have Saparia Yasharala.
Shout out to my auntie Sapanya.
We have Tezabiah Israel McLean.
Shout out to our brother Tazabaya. Like I said last part.
We have Shauna Hall.
Who's that? That's that action. Shout out to our sister or brother Shauna.
Yakataza.
Shout out to my officer, Priest Yakwataza.
We have Nehemiah Ben Israel.
Shout out to our brother Nehemiah.
We have Truth Be Told.
Shout out to our Truth Be Told brother and sister.
We have Mecca Kalaman.
Shout out to our brother and sister Mecca.
Roxy Pyramid Jean.
Shout out to our sister Roxy.
looks like that.
Is that number? Oh, you said
Oh,
that.
we have in that number.
And then I hope it's not that 2/3 number.
Hey,
He was specific.
right.
So shout out to all our family that was on the live stream. I pray that you was edified in this word.
Got two more.
Yeah.
Michelle Glency
Shout out to our sister Michelle
and Street Dude.
and our brother Israel. That's on the live stream. I'm not gonna say street dude. We're waking up from that. So Wednesday we have wisdom class from 6 to 8. Today I was kind of late, but hopefully it was edified. 6 to 8. Usually hosted by Minister Solomon. Thursday, soldier class for the men that's striving for Isaiah 4:1, who's striving for the nation, who's striving for the people. Soldier class, teach you how to go over these scriptures, how to break down these scriptures, go over the Hebrew, the Assyrian Hebrew, the Paleo Hebrew, how to be righteous men, how to stand up for your household, how to go to camp. Prepare yourself to take that soldier's exam. Friday class is from 7 to 9, hosted by Elder Lapala, usually me. And Saturday is usually the Minister Shalom and the Priest Kahan from 12 at noon to 4:30 p.m. I pray I see you there. Shalom to the house of Israel. Death and destruction to the other nations. You gotta put that in there. Amadio Kwanya Yorashima, Zephyr's Jerusalem. The book of Psalms, chapter 67, verse 1. Yahweh will be mercy unto us and bless us, and cause his face to shine upon us, Salah, that thy way may be known upon the earth, thy saving help among all nations. Let the people praise thee, O Yahweh. Let the people praise thee, or let the nations be glad and sing for joy. For thou shalt judge the people righteously, and govern the nations upon the earth, Salah. Let the people praise thee, O Yahweh. Let all the people praise thee. Then shall the earth yield her increase, and the Most High, even our power, shall bless us. Yahweh shall bless us, and all the ends of the earth shall fear him. By Hashem HaMashiach Yahushai, the water, Yah, Amen.
Those no other questions, right?
Hallelujah.
Shalom. I hope you brothers make it social class tomorrow.